Yo, warm tea is good for the soul when you've been sick like I am. Man, the flu has just completely demolished the Bufano family. I have been down for the count for the past 3 days. And so that's one of the reasons why I haven't been putting out videos like I've been wanting to, because I couldn't get out of bed. And I'm finally feeling better today. So do not let this stuffy nose and that Tyler's beautiful 1964 Gibson SG distract you from this very important thing that I want to tell you. What's up, y'all? My name is Nick. Thank you so much for checking out the Harbor Music YouTube channel. And also thank you for liking and subscribing and digging all the content we've been putting out. If you haven't yet, please hit subscribe. We're going to be putting out a lot more videos and such. But today, I want to talk to you about a common phrase that I think is misunderstood, particularly in the music world. And that is this: a jack of all trades is a master of none. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing, and I think for the most part in our society, people understand that. But what I don't think people realize is the full phrase is actually this: a jack of all trades is a master of none, but is better than a master of one. Now, that is critical for us to understand, particularly when we think about how to make a living doing music in 2025. It's also one of the reasons why I'm holding this mug right here. A lot of y'all may not know, but I am the director of the Mississippi River Festival. It is a festival that we put on at the Alton Amphitheater. Last year was our inaugural year. This year we just announced 2 dates that we're doing, June 27th and 28th. The lineup will be coming very soon. But I'm a concert promoter. I'm the director of a festival. It's also alongside my partner in crime, Zach Johnson, who's the director of operations, and a whole team of amazing people that I'm so thankful to do this festival with. It's so cool, and it's like an awesome conglomerate of dope people who just want to do cool stuff for our town and bring in amazing bands for people to enjoy. The reason I'm saying this is because concert promotion and being a festival director was not in the cards for me 5 years ago. I had no intention of doing that. Same thing with being a photographer. Now, I'm not a photographer, but I can take photos, and I can take pretty good photos. I'm also not a videographer, but I've learned how to light videos and get decent audio and make these videos for you all. I'm also not a front of house engineer, but I've run front of house in massive venues all across the country. I'm also not a great piano player, but I play keys for Matt Jordan. Why am I listing off this big old things of things that I'm not qualified to do? Well, that's because, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. You can get mad at me if you want. You can disagree in the comments. But in my opinion, in order to make a living at this level in the music industry, you have to have a skill set that reaches pretty far and wide. And the reason for that is so that you can say yes to a gig and an opportunity that comes your way. Now, we can talk about what gigs you should say yes to and what you should say no to, but the point behind all this is that if you're one of these people who have a very specific and narrow thing that you do, you will find success in that. I don't have a doubt in that. Like, if you market yourself as just the mastering engineer, there is a market for you, but it will take longer for you to find the clientele and the consistent work that makes this sustainable so that you can pay your bills. Now, eventually, obviously, I will always keep the Mississippi River Festival as long as this thing is going. But eventually, I would love to just produce, but I can't do that right now because I got a mortgage and I got 2 little babies and a family to provide for. I realized very quickly out of school, when I moved to Nashville, I was like, okay, there's a lot of great guitar players in this town. There's a lot of great songwriters in this town. There's a lot of great blank. But if I had a skill set that I was able to say yes to any gig that came in front of me, I knew that that would put me at an advantage to someone who just specialized in one of those things. So when Matt Jordan, for example, was like, I'm looking for an auxiliary player, someone who can play keys, sing harmony, play guitar, and kind of do whatever the songs require. I was able to raise my hand and say, yep, I can do that. And then from that, playing in Matt's band has been incredible, and it's opened the doors to so many friends that I have now, and just getting to know Matt better, and even some of the songwriting stuff that I'm doing. But that all came about because I was able to say yes to the gig. So the real point to all this, and I apologize if I'm rambling, I'm sick, okay? Let me get over my sickness, is I want you to just consider, is your skill set right now broad enough to where you can say yes to paying opportunities, right? Can you play keys? Can you tune vocals? Can you shoot photos? Can you run front of house? Can you do these things? Now, you're not going to be able to say yes to every one of those, and I'm not saying that you should say yes to every one of those things, but I think when we're thinking about how do we keep the train rolling, how do we stay in the industry, how do we get to the next gig, perhaps it's worth considering, okay, right now in my tool belt, I've got these things. What is one or two things in 2025 that I can add to that tool belt to allow me to say yes to more opportunities, right? Maybe you're a guitar player and you don't really know how to play slide. That's an easy thing. It's not easy to do, but it's easy to develop that skill so you can say yes to a gig that requires you to play slide guitar. Or maybe you're a bass player, but you kind of dabble on guitar, but you need to get a little better. It is worth it to pursue those skill sets so that you are able to say yes to more opportunities. Eventually, you will have to make a decision. Is this opportunity going to serve, where I'm wanting to head in my career? And that's a very important question to ask. Like, is this something I'm doing because the money's good, the music's good, the people's good? Okay, that's probably something you should say yes to. Or if it doesn't check all of those boxes or two of those boxes, that's maybe something that you should reconsider. If you're the type of person who says yes to everything, you are going to find yourself in a lot of headaches, right? And some of that is just learning from experience, like what gigs are, worthwhile to take, and what are things that, maybe that's something I should pass on. Okay, my point is this. By developing skill sets that are outside of your primary thing, it may open up passions that you didn't know were there. For me, it's the Mississippi River Festival, it's Harbor Productions, it's putting on concerts and events for people to enjoy live music the way I love live music. For you, it could be any number of things. You may find that you love taking photos, and then now you can go out and shoot your buddy's band. It could be you love to tune vocals. There is so much work in tuning vocals, y'all, you wouldn't even understand. I just want you to consider, what tools can you add to your belt this year that will allow you to say yes to more gigs in the future. I hope y'all dig that. It's more of just like a late night ramble, if you will. We're just getting back in the flow of things here on this sick February week here. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all on the next video.